Welcome back, GRD 121, Fall 2020, to our Bat Cat Halloween flyer, exercise 910. 9 is the Bat Cat stuff, 10 is the flyer, and we're just doing them together. And we're doing our cat right now, and I'm kind of zoomed in already, so we're going to just trace our cat. That's all we're doing here, and that's all we're doing in this part of the video. And ignore the eyes for now. We'll do the eyes last. And again, you could do one eye and copy it. The eyes aren't going to be a big deal, so don't worry about the eyes. And I don't think there's any other shapes that are inside of here. We did a cat before that had kind of legs that crossed over, and there was like a shape inside. So the hardest part of this, I guess, is going to be just navigating around because it's a bigger shape and it takes a little longer to work on because you're going to want to zoom in and then zoom out a little bit. So I'll start with the head. Doesn't matter where you start. You could start anywhere. Maybe I'll start with his chin down here. You could start up here on the ear, kind of work your way around, however you want to do that. But again, I'm working on the cat, and the cat should be locked, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. And I'm going to use my pen tool, and I already have it set up with this kind of pink color for a border, and there's no fill. So that's what I want to do. So I'm just going to start here with my pen tool, and I'm just going to click. And remember, there's a curve here, so just click and drag a little. And what we've been doing is just kind of clicking on the point to get rid of the forward handle. And that means we could go here and just kind of click and drag. And now this is easy. Look how easy this is. And same thing up here with the ear. I'm going to go up here. And then now we almost have a straight line. So I'll just click. These things have a little curve to them, but I'm just going to make them straight. So I'm just going to click, and I'm just going to scroll up a little bit and kind of move over just to kind of look what I'm doing next. So I'm just clicking, even though they have a little curve on them, you could just do these straight. You don't have to arc them at all. And I'm just kind of clicking, no handles needed for this. Now we have a big curve here, so I think what I'm going to do is kind of go down here, kind of where his tail starts to go up, because that's like a big S shape. That would be a lot to do with one handle. So I'm just going to go here and just kind of get this arch. Picture if there was a red point, it would be right here. So I'm going to kind of go here and get this and get that finished first. And even that requires a fairly long handle. And then I'm going to click to get rid of this handle. And I'm just going to finish this off. Because you can see, I'll scroll up a little bit. I think I'll just finish this off right here, do that arc, because then it's a lot of straight line stuff. So I'm just going to go here and just make it like a little point here and just drag up and just kind of fill in that area. And then click on that because I don't want a handle sticking out. And this is just straight line stuff. So it goes straight, straight, straight. And I'm just going to scroll up here and do some more. And they're straight. So this could all be straight line stuff. So this isn't that hard. It's just a little more time consuming. Now this has a little curve here, so I'm just going to curve it off at the top and then kind of go down and just go down like that. And there's a little curve there, so I'll curve it a little bit and then click on the forward point. And again, if you didn't get that perfect, you could just make straight line segments and go back and curve them later. So, you know, whatever's more comfortable. Click. I'm trying to get used to making curves as you go, but if that's a problem, if that slows you down, then just do as many straight line ones as you can and edit them later. The whole idea is just don't make too many points. Don't be clicking all over the place. Just put points where you need them. So I'll click here, here. You can see this is all kind of straight line. There's a little bit of a curve here. And I'll just kind of drag out a little bit. And then again, get rid of the forward handle. And now I'll go down the back leg of the cat here. And I'll just kind of do that arch first, because there's like an S, it goes up and it goes down. So I think what I'll do is I'll maybe go here, kind of in between that S shape. If you can see that S shape, it goes up and it goes down and it comes up. So I'm going to go right in between here and maybe do the first arc and then go over here and just kind of finish it off. Actually, I could just click here. I don't even have to do anything. I could just click because that handle there is already making an S shape. So I'm just going to click there. Now it's a little arc here, so I'm just going to click and make it to the tiniest of arcs, and I'll go down here and go pretty straight, and it has a little curve here, so I could kind of go around the bend and then just bend it a little bit, just a little bit, and get rid of the forward handle. And again, this is that stuff where, like we did the round cornered triangle, you could kind of put a point here and a point there, or you could try to round right on the corner, whatever you want to do. I'll try to round the corner there, and that is okay. And I'll go here and try to round the corner, and that's okay. And I'll go here and just click a point. Now I'd have to go back and fix this a little bit, but that's okay. You know, this isn't meant to be easy. And actually there's a handle going in that direction, so I'm just going to keep going. And I'll go here and just bend it a little, just put a little handle there, and then come down and then kind of go around this bend and pull it out. And I'll click here and finish it off, and maybe I'll just finish it off like that. Now it's a little sharper on the edge, but that's okay. Now here I have a straight line, so I'll get rid of the forward handle. I'll go up there, I'll click and bend just to make it taper in a little, and click off. Now this, I should be able to create this whole curve by just dragging, so let's see how we do that. And that's perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. And click. I'll go here and click in a little bit. And I'll click here. And then we got kind of a straight path down the leg. I'll go all the way down the leg. And then just a little curve. I'll go to here and then curve it. Like a little hoof almost. Now that's probably a little off. I put my point a little off. That's okay. And then I'll click, and I'll try to get the whole front of the paw like that. And then get rid of the forward handle. And I'll go all the way up here and just drag and try to drag it down as much as I can. Now I could probably pull that point in later, so I'm not going to worry about that. Don't try to drag your handle way in, because we'll probably just move that point in a little. So again, get rid of the forward handle. I'll move over here. We're getting there. Here we have this little curve. And that's actually going down. Well, I'll get rid of it. And I'm just going to go down here kind of to the heel, I guess the heel. And I'm going to click and drag to bend out the line a little bit. And it's kind of going around here. I could probably just put it there. Actually, that wasn't a good point, but I'll fix it later. And I'll kind of bend that. So I'll have to fix his paw a little. That's okay. And I'll get rid of the handle here. And I'll bend it a little so it follows the path. Right up here, I could probably just put it there. I'll just click it there. And I'll go around his mouth. And if you feel more comfortable putting a point like right on his chin and then rounding it off, you could do that. Now, whether we do the whiskers now or later, I'm just going to go and click, and I'm just going to make just straight whiskers. I'm not going to try and round them, because I don't think it'll matter. I don't think anybody will notice. They're just whiskers, so I'm just going to make them straight. I'm not going to try and round them, even though they are a little bit rounded. I don't think that's necessary. If you want to round it, that's okay. And here I have a little curve. Let me go up here because I'm almost done. And I'm just going to drag and then get rid of the forward handle. And then now we just got straight lines. And we're done. Now I could probably zoom in more, but I'm okay. And I'll just finish it off and just click right there. Remember, I don't have to double click. That's only for an open path. I just have to click where I started. So there it is. And I'm going to go on my sub-select tool because I want to fix anything right when, since I just did some things down here that I need to fix. I'm just going to pull that handle out a little. That fixed that. His paw is a problem down here. So I'm going to go on here and just pull this handle out, I guess a little bit. I could even move the point. Maybe the point needs to be moved a little. That could be the problem. And then I could shorten that handle. I'll move this one out. I'll move this one in a little bit and adjust this handle. And again, if you think this shouldn't be pointy, then just go on here and put like put disconnected or asymmetric. I'm sorry, asymmetric. And put asymmetric and then kind of bring them in a little bit. You could bring the one in and then bring the other one in. And then it's a little more rounded, but you have some control over it. And again, I'll shorten this one a little bit. That looks okay. This is the one where I think I said I should bring this point in. And I'll bring this up a little bit. And I think that looks okay. I mean, you know, it's a cat. It's no one's gonna critique the cat that much, especially, you know, a Halloween kind of cat in a flyer. No one's gonna look too much at it. And actually, since we're kind of going over probably what's a copyrighted cat, since we're creating our own here, probably any little differences is probably better. And I think his tail's okay. I'll pull that in a little bit. This groove here looks okay, so I'll just tweak that a little bit, but I think everything else looks okay. Last thing I have to do here with my cat is just do the eye. So I'm going to zoom in and just kind of work on one eye here. Now you could make a circle and, you know, there's different things you could do here. I think I'm going to just try to do the eye in one shot. Just make one eye, make it white, and then I can knock it out. That might be easier. So I'm just going to click here and I'm just going to go click, click, and I'll try to just go around the path here and click and drag and then finish this off here and then click. And maybe I'll just click and drag here And I think I could just finish it off here. And that looks okay. And actually, it's probably fine the way it is, but if you want to, take your direct selection tool. I'll just stretch out the eye so it looks a little bit better. And that's all I want for that eye. And I could probably just copy that eye instead of drawing it again. So I'm just going to go back to my pointer, and I'll just do, I guess, Command D. I'll do Command D, and there's another one, and I'll just move it here. And remember, what can I do to flip it around? I have a flip tool right here. I'll flip it, and then I'll rotate it with this thing and just kind of put it into place and get it kind of close. And if I want to scale it a little bit, just grab a corner, scale it in a little bit, and that's probably good enough, just as long as it's close. Now, I'm going to make these eyes white. So I'm going to fill them with white. So I'm going to give them a plus, and I'll make them white. Not black, I'm going to make them white. So I'll give them a fill of white. And I could even get rid of their stroke. So I'm going to go over here and delete the stroke with the trash can, the border, I should say. Okay, and then this thing, the outline of the cat, I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see it. This one, I should have fixed that. That probably could be fixed a little bit, although no one's going to notice when you have it. But I'm going to, you know, I don't want you to be sloppy, but I don't know if anybody's going to notice that little thing on the cat leg. So I'm going to click on the outline of the cat here, and I'm going to turn off the border, and I'll just give it a fill, and it'll be black. And there it is. It's finished. Except one last thing to do here is highlight right through here, because remember, there's three paths. There's two eyes, and there's the whole shape of the cat. And what I actually want to do here, they're already paths, so this isn't a problem. We're going to go here and we're going to do subtract. Now, the reason we're doing subtract, and by the way, you could turn this stuff off. I'll show you. There's a place, if these things are annoying, you could turn off these little animations in your settings. But if you use subtract, what it should do is the shapes on top should be a negative shape, should kind of punch out, just like we did on that coffee mug or whatever when we did the handle. These things should punch out. So if we do subtract, they should punch out, and now it's a compound shape. Now, you might not know what's going on here, like what you did, but if you just go here, I'll just draw a rectangle really quick, and I'll move it behind my compound shape. Now, you don't have to do this, but just to show you, you could see, let me give it a different color so you can see it. You can see now, you can see through it. So that means that's transparent, so you can see through it. That orange rectangle is behind the cat, so it's empty now. So this is all one path, so you can color it anything you want. So if you wanted to make a purple cat, I could go here and make it a purple cat, and those are just holes there. So whatever we want to do when we put in our flyer, we now have a cat, and we now have a bat that we could put in, and we can make a bunch of little bats in the sky. We can make a cat down on the ground. When we go to work on our flyer, we could put some bats up in the sky. We could put a cat down on the ground or on the path, right on the path or something might be cool. So we're done with the cat. So that's it, and that should just be practice. And maybe it's a little more challenging. Maybe you flew through it really fast. Whatever. Obviously, based on your experience, whatever works for you. So as long as you're fairly accurate and it doesn't look really sloppy, and as long as it doesn't take you too long. If it's taking you 2 hours, then you need to practice a little bit on those other activities, the A, B, and C that we did previously. So that's the end of part 2. That's our cat. And for part 3 and probably part 4, and who knows how many more, we're going to start working on a flyer. But we already have our bat cat done. Make sure you save over here. Make sure it syncs. Now, you don't have to share it yet. You can wait to share it. And we'll pick up with part 3, and we'll get started with our flyer that's going to kind of look something like that. That's what we're going to be going for. So I'll see you at part 3.